Hello, this is Anne Marie, and it's TipTop Tuesday, and the date is October 24th, 2017. And I'm going to invite friends so people know that it's going on now. Do, do, do. Do, do. Oh, hi everybody. Suze is here, Helen's here, and Char's here. Thank you for joining me. Oh, Gabby Fitz is here too. Great. Hi, Gabby. Anyway, so the topic today is empaths. And what is that? What is that and what does that mean? Well, you know, when we talk about, in common language, empathic, oh, this person's very empathic, what we're usually talking about is that they are emotionally sensitive. They are good listeners. They take on people's worries. And when people talk to them, they feel so much better after the conversation. They feel understood. Now, the next level of that is the energetic empath. People that are empathic, I think we're all empathic. Some people, just like some people, we all have different talents. And empaths are no different. Some of them are more empathic than others. They take on other people's energy. This is something that we may do ourselves, or we may notice it in our children. I have seen, when I was doing work on somebody who was afraid of flying, when I did the work, yes, she had her own issues, but I could also tell at the age of 2, she took on her aunts who had lots of anxieties. It took on some of her aunts' anxieties because she had a generous heart and she wanted to help her. So but that impacted her life when you're taking on other people's anxieties and souls. Now, people can feel that because, let me give you an example. When you are in a situation that's extremely tense and there's just been some angry words, that heaviness in the room, well, everybody can feel that. And when things are really fun, like let's say we just won a championship of something, the energy all of a sudden gets really light and happy. And that is recognizing that there's an energy difference. Now, what empaths do is they have a tendency, besides being very kind-hearted, to not understand their gift. So they will easily open themselves up and transmute that person's energy. And what I mean by that, it's like, let's think of them as a little vacuum cleaner, shall we? So they're a vacuum cleaner and they're kind of, and the other person feels much better, and in fact may have even lifted that particular anxiety issue or whatever it is. Sadness can be all kinds of different things. And the other person is just like, like big, strong energy person, I can take this. What happens is it starts to build up. It gets into their own energy field. One of the salient parts of growing up, I think, is when you get into school, right? When you get to school, you start to see a lot more different people. It's just the way it is. Kids that are empathic will go to school, and everybody likes them because they're such great kids, but they will sometimes come home, be more moody, not as happy as they usually are. And this is often a sign to parents, one, that something could be going on at school, but also that they're taking on other people's problems or energies. So what do you do? Well, when you notice that there's been a change in the child's behavior and you talk to them and it just doesn't quite seem like them, because you know your child. What you do is say you're watching a movie or TV, dinner's over, you just kind of relax them before you go to bed. You get like a tub, a small tub of water, not warm water, not too hot, can be comfortably warm, and you put Epsom salts in there. Now the child puts their feet in the Epsom salts. You could also do it. Could be a little family ritual. What that does is within 20 minutes, that energy that's not there is just gets pushed out and pushed down into the bowl. So all of a sudden, if you talk to your child, say before they go to bed, now you're tucking them in or reading them a story or whatever you're doing, you go in and you talk to them now about their day. And all of a sudden, it becomes clear. It becomes clear because now they can talk about what their issue is, not the energy and feelings of other people. It can get really confusing. I think that we focus on the negative sometimes about how hard it is for empaths and all that. But there's a joy to be an empath, and I want to bring that part out too. And that's with nature. I mean, we all love nature. I think maybe somebody who's lived in a concrete jungle their whole life doesn't like nature, but they haven't experienced it. But like, let's say my pals, my plants, right? Here's my two little pals. These plants will emanate or this kind of love, energetics, feeling, and it's so cool. And as an empath, I can feel that. I can feel that joy that they're giving me, and I'm receiving it. And they're my pals, and I appreciate it. It's no. When I say my pets are my plants, I'm sincere. And then we can move on to animals. Lots of animals are empathic. You don't have to tell them sometimes that things aren't going well. They just know. So the empathic action is a very normal, across the board kind of behavior. But when we push it down in our society and say it doesn't really exist, well, then that causes the problem, right? Because if we don't acknowledge something that's going on, how can we fix it? How can we take care of ourselves, right? So the message today is a couple things. One, empaths just have a sixth sense about other people's feelings. Two, they will often be surprised that somebody else isn't picking something up. Like, it's so obvious. Well, it might not be, okay? Three, if you're an empath, it's important for you to take care of yourself and have strong boundaries on an energetic level. It's like putting yourself in a little house. That's why working with your chakras is such an important thing. And music actually is very helpful in strengthening the energetic boundaries. It just fills you up and makes you stronger because it's a vibration. Music is vibration, and being empathetic is also a vibration. One of the things that people get confused about sometimes when they're empaths is it's so tough for them. If the environment, I think they've talked a lot about this with autistic kids, but it's so tough because it's kind of like bombarding them. And so oftentimes people that are empathic will want to deaden their sessions because they don't really know always what's happening to them. So they often will do something that will lower their vibration, make them more dense. And that's the solution. So they may start drinking, they may start doing drugs, but they're doing that because they're trying to medicate themselves from the vulnerability of what they're feeling and seeing. So again, there are other ways to do that, through vibrational music, through strengthening the chakras. Exercise is a huge way. I know for myself, if I don't get out there and get a walk in, I'm like not doing as well. And maybe I'm projecting my behavior onto others. Wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last. But I just think I'm going to emphasize that. So I think we've been about almost 10 minutes, and I think if there's any questions. Oh, hi, Sarah. Then that will be, I'm glad it's so helpful, Suze. Yeah, now if you guys have any questions, let me know because I will be glad to answer them. It's a little hard for me to do live and look at the comments. Oh, how do I know if I'm an empath? Well, in your case, Sarah, you definitely are, but that's because I know you, okay? Okay, how would you know? You would know, well, you're an artist, and you just know how people feel oftentimes. There's a way, and you can kind of get mad because you think people don't get it, and they don't get it. But there's a way you are with nature, with your kids, with that loving heart you have. You just are. When you take on, I guess it's kind of personal, but I don't mean it to be personal. But this goes for other people too. You know, you take on sometimes. You have the ability to take on other people's pain. You also know how to transmute that. So it's because you're a powerful person, but you definitely have that quality. Not everybody knows how to absorb. It's like you can be a sponge. That's a good way. An untrained empath is a sponge to other people's emotions, and they can get confused about what they're feeling or what somebody else is feeling. So that's how I would describe it. And when you put your feet in Epsom salts, then you have a very clear understanding about what's my stuff and what's somebody else's. So I hope that answers your question. Anyway, lovely to have everybody here and have a dazzle of a day. It's I don't know if you can tell, it's a nice autumn light day here. So that's it. Okay. Take care. And see you at the next video. The next video, I'm going to talk about Halloween and walk-in spirits and all that, because it'll be after Halloween, but it will be kind of a fun topic. So take care.